So here at Hanoi House, what we do is serve Vietnamese food. We really strive to show people that, Asian food can be healthy, delicious. Growing up in a Chinese restaurant, I felt that the stereotype for Asian food was deep fried, comfort, unhealthy food. So for us, I really wanted to go the opposite direction and show people that there is a completely different world when it comes to Asian food. Peterborough is so unique in that we really do have everything. We've got a lot of nature around us, but we have the perks of a big city. You've got so many kinds of different restaurants here, different people here. Well, I'm originally from Peterborough. I grew up in a Chinese restaurant just in Cavan, and it was called the Golden Wheel. My parents started it in the 90s, and it was a very stereotypical small town Chinese restaurant. And then I was that stereotypical kid in the restaurant where my life revolved around it. So, every day for me was take your kid to work day. I look back at it now and I wish I appreciated it more. And it wasn't until I would say, in my third or fourth year that I realized that, the hospitality industry was just in my blood and I just couldn't get away from it. In the restaurant industry, one of the areas that's really lacking where a lot of independent owners struggle with is the education aspect. So when I say education, I mean like training and passing on knowledge from one person to another. That's actually a really big gap in the food business. Part of my success actually with this restaurant has been the emphasis on training, on creating a plan for that training. So just like in a traditional classroom, you have a curriculum. Here, when you start, you actually get a training plan, which is like a roadmap of what you're going to be learning over the next few weeks. So just like, first day of school, your first day in my restaurant, you know what's expected of you and what you're going to learn. The other really important thing is in the teaching program, they emphasize that everyone learns very differently. Right? You've got visual learners, people that are more hands-on, people that are more auditory. That still applies here as well. Especially in the restaurant industry, we have people that love being hands-on. That's why they work in the kitchen. Or often with my servers, they're actually very academic. Hence why we have a lot of trend students that work here. So they thrive off of having more polished resources, more FAQs and guides that teach them about the food. So for me as a business owner, it's important for me to have values, live by them, and that's important for my staff. They see me lead by example. Now that I've done the program and I've had a bit of life experience and I see how important education is, it is not just restricted to, a kindergarten to grade 12 classroom. It's everywhere. It's in the corporate world, it's in restaurants, all over. Trent itself is an incredible institution. As someone that went to a bigger university and then went to Trent, and I tell this to everyone, in the first university I went to, I was a student number and I can recite it, in the back of my hand. I can recite it in my sleep. But at Trent, to this day, I still don't know what my student number is. Like really and truly, I was seen as a person, as an individual, and even having left the school, I still feel connected to the school, which I can probably say that a lot of people that go to any other school couldn't say the same thing.